Industrial waste and untreated sewage, which at one time were major causes of water pollution, were known as point sources because the pollution came from a specific location or point, making it relatively easy to identify and clean up. Stormwater runoff, now Florida's largest cause of water pollution, is a non-point source. This means the pollution is usually spread across a wide area, and as a result, it's much harder to clean up. Polluted stormwater runoff can have many adverse effects on plants, fish, animals, and people. Sediment can cloud the water and make it difficult or impossible for aquatic plants to grow. Sediment can also destroy aquatic habitats. Excess nutrients can cause algae blooms. When algae die, they sink to the bottom and decompose in a process that removes oxygen from the water. Fish and other aquatic organisms can exist in water with low oxygen levels. Bacteria and other pathogens can wash into swimming areas and create health hazards, often making beach closures necessary. Debris, like plastic bags, six-pack rings, bottles, and cigarette butts, washed into water bodies can choke, suffocate, or disable aquatic life, like ducks, fish, turtles, and birds. Polluted stormwater often affects drinking water sources. This, in turn, can affect human health and increase drinking water treatment costs. Household hazardous wastes like insecticides, pesticides, paint, solvents, used motor oil, and other vehicle fluids can poison fish and other aquatic life, and people can become sick from eating diseased fish and shellfish or ingesting polluted water. Pollutants are carried untreated through storm drains or over land to our neighborhood water bodies every time it rains. Even pollution from miles away can impact us as runoff makes its way across the watershed. By now, most of us understand about the potential health, economic, and environmental issues associated with water pollution. But what many of us may not know is how we contribute to the problem. At home, when we use pesticides incorrectly or over-fertilize our lawn, we're adding those chemicals to the stormwater runoff. We do the same thing when we blow grass clippings and leaves into the street. Dumping oil, painting materials, or household cleaners into the gutter or down the storm drain is the same as dumping them directly into a river, lake, or pond. Remember, by law, only clean water is permitted in the storm drain. Dumping anything else is illegal and is known as an illicit discharge. An illicit discharge, even one that occurs accidentally, can be punishable by fines of up to $10,000. If you see an illicit discharge, you should contact your local environmental or water quality agency as soon as possible. Make certain you note the location of the discharge and the approximate time and date you noticed it. Pet waste is a huge problem for stormwater runoff. 4 out of every 10 homes in the United States have a dog. These 72 million dogs produce an estimated 40,000 tons of waste every day. But surveys show that less than 40% of dog owners pick up after their pets. This waste carries pathogens and nutrients that are bad for the environment and people. We also can contribute to water pollution with some of our activities at work, like pressure washing a building with bleach, hosing down a restaurant's greasy floor mats in the parking lot, storing leaky drums or dumpsters near a ditch or pond, or washing equipment residue into a storm drain. Construction, pool maintenance, landscaping, and vehicle washing are all activities with the potential for creating pollution that can eventually enter our waterways. It's probably safe to say that most of us would never deliberately do anything to cause water pollution or harm our neighborhood lakes and ponds. But many of us simply don't realize how many of our everyday activities contribute to the pollutants carried in stormwater runoff. Some people might be tempted to question how much harm can be done by over-fertilizing one lawn, or not picking up after one dog, or using bleach to pressure wash one building. That's a good point. But we don't live in isolation. Our whole community drains to the same place. It's not one lawn or one dog or one pressure-washed building. Our activities are magnified hundreds and thousands of times by the activities of our neighbors in the community.